Hello and welcome back to thedrinker.co.uk. I'm Pete Turner, and in this little film I'm looking at the alcohol-free and low alcohol beers that are available in the UK, generally available in most of the supermarkets in the UK going into 2022. Not all of these beers are available at all of the supermarkets, so do check where you shop to see if you can find these. But these are my sort of selection. There are lots and lots of others out there, so do shop around, do taste lots and lots. The standard has really improved in the last few years. But these are the ones that have come across my radar in the last year or so, and I'm going to just whiz you through some of them. So first up, we have a Lucky Saint. Lucky Saint's not the cheapest. None of these beers really cost more than £2, so they're all pretty generally affordable. But Lucky Saint is a really good one. Pilsner style lager. Again, under £2 a bottle. And and it says on their website it's 0.5% alcohol. So it says it contains about the same alcohol, to give you a rough sort of point of reference. So about the same alcohol as a very ripe banana. So that's 0.5%. And it just smells like a lovely sort of a regular lager, a really nicely made regular lager. And it's soft and crisp. There's a bit of citrus to it. There's a bit of malt to it. It's nicely balanced. It's refreshing. It looks great. I think that's everything you want in a kind of, I want a cold beer for a sunny day, but I'm not drinking. That's your beer. Okay, so second up, we have this Leffe, one of the classic Belgian beers. This is their 0.0% blonde. Oh, and it's got a lovely sort of warm clove, caramel, wheat beer kind of nose to it. And it's quite sweet. And it's got some real lovely malt to it. There is some sort of old world hop in the background, but it's beautifully balanced. There's a real lovely complex kind of herbal character to it. And you could drink that all day long. It's beautiful. It's quite classy. It comes in little bottles, but beautiful beer. There we go. So next up, so from the old world to the very, very new, this is Brewdog. It's called Nanny State. Have to say, declare an interest. Not a big fan of Brewdog. Not a big fan of them as a brewery. Not a big fan of their beers. I just don't like the angularity and the over-hoppedness of their beers. But, and it's got a proper Brewdog nose to it. But I think that packing a punch hop-wise really works with a non-alcoholic beer. And it's big, and it's American hops. They're really in your face, and it's not what I like. Lots of people do like that style of beer. But I think what it does for me, that hoppiness, is it sort of carries the fact that there's no alcohol in it. It really sort of supports the beer. And I think, as much as I'm not a fan of Brewdog's beers, if you like that kind of thing, that's very much up your street. Proper modern craft beer style, modern over-hopped American hopped beers. I hope that made sense. Okay, in this similar vein, this is Brewdog. This is Brooklyn. This is called Special Effect. It's brewed by Carlsberg, so I think it's probably not from Brooklyn. I think it's probably from Northampton. And it's a lovely colour. It's a lovely dark colour. And it would make you think that there's going to be some malt in that, some... And it is. And it's still got that sort of New World hoppiness about it. But there's a lovely sweet malt note that undercuts it, that sort of makes it really quite balanced. And I think that's a really lovely, well thought through beer. Again, 0.4% that one. Interesting thing about this one is that it hasn't been brewed and then had the alcohol taken out. This one has got a yeast strain which only ferments up to a level, and then it just stops. And then presumably it's pasteurised. and consequently you retain a lot of the sort of beer sort of character to it. So yeah, it's 0.4% in alcohol there. So next up, this is from Suffolk. This is St. Peter's Without. They do a range of 4 non-alcoholic beers. This is their Blonde, I think. Yep. Gold, apologies, gold. Should put my glasses on before I do these things. And it's properly malty on the nose. Yeah, it's very much a sort of Ovaltine Horlicks nose. And you know, that's not bad at all. It's quite sweet, but it's not bad at all. It's got that malt carries through, and there is underneath that some sort of old English kind of hops to it. A really nicely made beer, looks fabulous. It smells like a brewery when you walk past a brewery. Yeah, very hoppy. Not very hoppy, very malty, very malty. Beautiful beer. Bit sweet if you worried about those kind of things, but I like it. Next up, Adnams Ghost Ship 0.5%. Love Adnams. They do everything right. They're a super brewery, and this is Ghost Ship. Some of you will be familiar with Ghost Ship, so be careful when you're buying them. The branding is very similar. This is their, I think, 4 or 5% beer, and this is the 0.5. That could confuse a stupid person, me. So do watch out when you're buying it. So this is the non-low alcohol version. They essentially take regular Ghost Ship, and then they've got a process called reverse of osmosis, which takes the alcohol out, but hopefully retains the character of the beer. And on the nose, you really do get it. It is very much Adnams Ghost Ship. And really, unless you were an expert, you probably wouldn't tell. You probably wouldn't notice. It's terrifically well made. It's super value. It looks great. It's well thought through. The reverse osmosis process retains all of that sort of flavour profile. It's just a genius beer. Talking of genius beers, here is Guinness 0.0%. Okay, so Guinness. Thing about Guinness, it's not just about taking a beer and making it a non-alcoholic beer. Guinness has all sorts of other stuff to it. It's got to look right. It's got to taste right. It's got to have the same kind of mouthfeel. Guinness is more than just a beer. Guinness is a sort of experience in that respect. It's just like Guinness. It's a piece of genius. It looks like it. Excuse the fuller's glass. Looks like Guinness. This has been poured some time ago, so 10 minutes ago. Retains its lovely creamy head. It looks right. In the mouth, it feels right. It's got some body, some texture. It's only been out, I think it was launched in 2021, so it's not been out very long. It's perfect. It really is perfect. If you like a Guinness, but you're not having a drink this year, then there we go. There's a super alternative. It was a real revelation to me. I think, hats off to Guinness. Honourable mentions also go to, for the cider lovers, Sheppey's. I know that is available in Tesco. And also, this is Stowford Press, their alcohol-free cider, which again is fabulous. So if you're a cider drinker, have a look out for those two. Two last things. Don't want to get too preachy. The first thing is, if you're doing a dry January or a Stoptober, or you're just not drinking at the moment, please, you can do that in the pub. I know there's a temptation there if you're in the pub, but please do support your pubs. Lots of pubs do a lot of these things. I know that that's on draft already, so lots of pubs do stock a lot of non-alcoholic beers, which are much more interesting than they used to be. So do support your pub. The pubs are taking a kicking in the last 2 years. They need our support, particularly in the slack months in January and February. So please do support your local pub. And if you're drinking or if you're not drinking, it's always better to do it in the pub. Being around people is good for your mental health. So there's my preachy bit on pubs. The other thing is my preachy bit on your friend who's not having a beer today. Please, if you're out with a friend or a group of friends and one of them is choosing non-alcoholic options, you don't have to question them and you don't have to pressure them into having a drink. They're doing it for their reasons. Let's not judge them. Let's not put temptation in their way. Let's not tease them. Let them drink what they want to drink, and let's be kind to each other. So that's my my New Year's resolution. Let's support our pubs and let's be kind to each other. So whatever you're drinking this year, my very best wishes. Drink safely, drink carefully, and look after yourselves now. Cheers. Please like, follow and share thedrinker.co.uk and find us on Twitter at DrinkerSite. Cheers now.